Ah, DINKY-DOO, my hearties. A very good evening to you. It's just me, Scottie McClue, and it's Saturday night, 9 o'clock sharp. Nothing gets past me, of course, and I thought we'll pop up and just see who's about. Now, we've only got an hour, 1 hour of superb, scintillating information, education, and entertainment, and I've just managed to get a little video out to you there, so I hope you've all seen it. And come and join us as quickly as you can. There's Scarlett Pimpernel has joined us. How lovely is that? Gels Matty, GMFC. Now, guys, remember, no second names. We don't discuss other broadcasters. We don't do politics. We don't do football. We don't do religion. We do everything else, of course, which is fantastic. Lewis, DINKY-DOO, Ollie's joined us as well. Professor Numpty, DINKY-DOO, Scottie, and Susan has joined us, I believe. Well, Professor Numpty has said hi to Susan. So I'm hoping Susan has joined us. How amazing is that? And a big DINKY-DOO to every single one of you. So lovely to have you with me tonight. Absolutely incredible. We've got all the chat on the go. And we're also going to, if I can get this right, get the phones open so we can get you on there as well. You'll see behind me my beautiful sunflowers as being like in the Botanic Gardens. I call them the flowers of the forest. So there you are. They were a present from a lovely lady who sent me a beautiful card that said, did you know that if the sunflowers can't find the sun, they turn to each other? Isn't that beautiful? And these were all closed when I popped them in. So there we are. And just look at that. Good evening, Scottie and Numpty. Susan's with us so we can get started. Can you hear me and see me, guys? Numpty, Susan, I trust your judgment. Do let me know. There we are. Scott Mash, you've got the #1 gifter badge. I'll tell you, I take it you don't eat salad. Well, I eat only salad. That's how I'm so slim. So there you are. What's the talking topic tonight? Well, we're discussing everything tonight, but obviously we're not going into any dodgy stuff. So they are loud and clear, Scottie. Susan, what a lovely, pleasant change that I am loud and clear. You've no idea how frustrating it is for me as well as for you guys when we can't get the sound working properly. DINKY-DOO to you, Mr. McClue. Thank you, Lewis. There we are. Was that a slightly passive-aggressive comment about the salad? It sounded like it. There we are. Lonesome Don Wilkie from Canada. How lovely to have you with us, sir. Welcome, welcome, I say from Canada. DINKY-DOO, Scottie McClue, says Alistair. Can we talk about cars tonight or another night? Ian, we start the conversation and, people can join in. So if you want to talk about cars, you start that going. I'll even get, it's my birthday today, says Susan. Susan, a very, very happy birthday to you. There we are. Do you like my sunflowers? Aren't they beautiful? I tell you, they've all come out and smiled at you all. How's Scotland's favourite radio host tonight? Oh, Kieran. Kieran, we popped up last night, as everybody now knows. What an amazing broadcast. What saddens me a little bit is that the numbers watching them are quite small. So it'd be quite nice to get everybody seeing that. The Audi A6 and the Quattro, well, that was around, I don't know about the A6, but the Quattro was around. It was the thing to be in about 30 years ago. Will you get digital ID, Scottie? Well, we need to discuss all this as a country. You don't just get somebody popping up and saying this is what's happening. You say, no, we need to debate it. I can't see the benefits of it to the indigenous British population. But I think if they got people coming off the boats and coming up the beach and said, we'll have to chip you so we know where you are and make sure you're not a crim, you haven't got a dodgy past, all that. There's no harm to it. We just need to know who you are and what you're up to and blah, blah, blah. So that coming here, we've got the information. But as for the indigenous British people, what would we want with that? We're not playthings. That's the thing. Very important. Tuts are here. Good evening, all. Good evening, Tuts are here. How lovely to have you with us. And Dinky-Doo. Do you know, Tuts, when I see you there, I'm going to open the phones. Now, guys, I'm going to give you the phone number. And, no silly people, please. Just the creme de la creme ringing, as per usual. So there we are. That would be fantastic. So I'm going to give you the number out. It's here we have it here 0333 335 6709 6709, I should say. That's what it's all about. Guys, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, please give me a thumbs up. You'll see just to the bottom left a wee thumbs up. Click that and also subscribe. Scottie for PM, I tell you, I'm over here in America, says Truth Seeker. How's the news over there about the US looking with all the crazy stuff? The US is really number one in the UK at the moment. And Mr. Trump, oh, wow, we love him. We love him. What we should do is microchip them off the boats. Yes, as soon as they get off the boats, excuse me, there we are, we chip for you. Right, on you go and get your money and your goodies and put your feet up and all that stuff. But at least we know who you are, when you arrived, the date, timestamp, the whole lot. But as for the British people who have nothing to do with boats and that, there we are. I tell you, yes, it's a hell of a lot better than Biden. So there we go. I tell you. I'm blocked, says Carbolic. I think you're not Carbolic, Dinky-Doo. I think you're with us. A couple of people got blocked last night for overplaying their hand. Guys, can you all follow me on the TikTok and go up to the TikTok bio and subscribe to the YouTube channel? I want 1 million subscribers and 1 million followers. Now, people laugh at this and go, what's your chances of that, big man? But in actual fact, huge. If you think that I used to broadcast to 250,000 people per half hour in central Scotland before I went big time, right across the northwest of England, Yorkshire, Lancashire, all that. Happy birthday to Susan, I say. Numpty Heed will be expecting you to try out the new telephones. I've just got the number here because we're still waiting on the old number just to move over from the previous supplier. And I've been in talks this week, so it will happen. We're also still talking to the big people in the media. Used to read the border news, Scottie. I did, Ian. Good evening. Here's the border news. There we are. Scottie, you were once a sub-teacher at my school. Simon, how wonderful. I loved my time in education. There we are. I've taught in primary, secondary, and tertiary now. There we are. So we've done a lot of teaching over the piece. There we are. And how fantastic is that? And a lot of broadcasting. There we are. Now, what have we got here? Oh, my goodness me. This is incredible, guys. It's worldwide. There we go. I don't know, Jamie. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't discuss that on here anyway, if you know what I mean. Do you know what I'm saying? But yes, I hope all's well. There are. You must have met a lot of people at Border when you were there. Well, you see, I was at Grampian, Border, and Scottish. So there we are. And then did appearances in Granada. So 4 ITV stations. Oh, and I appeared on Yorkshire television as well. 5 ITV stations in the day when there were 15. And I have made announcements, you'll love this, right to the whole of the country. 80 million people. We used to laugh at you in Grampian. Of course you did. I tried to be funny, but it wasn't necessary. It didn't go down all that well with the management. Excuse me, we've had a letter saying, does Mr. Personality think there are young people watching at night time? I'd always have a wee funny line at the close down, you know. Are we looking at the clock, eh? So there we are. Numpty Heed, didn't you appear on Crime Watch? No, Numpty Heed, you know, I know you'd be looking for me on there. Absolutely, because you'd be getting a bit anxious, but no, you're fine. I remember after listening to your fine self, funny, and straight to the point. Oh, yes, indeed. 80 million. It used to be 69 million. It did, but apparently it's 80 million now. So they say. Give Danny a shout out, says Sky. I will. Shout out to Danny. After 10 p.m., Scottie, when all the kids are away to bed. I know, just a wee bit of fun, but people were very proper then. They didn't like, oh, that chap on the televisions thinks he's funny. I think we'll write a letter of complaint. What do you think about the Labour government? Well, I mean, you know, what can I say? You know, as they say in Yorkshire, best to say out. There we go. Absolutely. So there we have it. What about yourself, Numpty Heed? Have you appeared on a few shows? Turn the boats around. Well, somebody was talking about it. Do you remember when President Trump was over, he said, get the military involved and stop these boats? And if you think about it, how many people would have come up the beach at Dover during World War II if we hadn't wanted them to? You see, so it's a thought, you know? I mean, if you called in, does anyone remember Colin Mitchell, Lieutenant Colonel Colin Mitchell of the Argylls? He would have been 100 this year if he'd still been with us. Scottie McClue, how be you the new? Scottie is TTIE. Do you know, it's so funny. This Scottie, TTIE, is everywhere. And I even say to people on social media, so they can see it's TTIE, and they still use a Y. Very, very strange. You have the dollar sign back again, Scottie. Have I got it there, Susan? Excellent. Well, if somebody's feeling flush, they can pop in £1. There we have it. Oh, I think after 40 years, I think McClue is worth £1. There's the wonderful Melinda Lemon from the Mississippi. Blessings, Scottie. And you, lovely Melinda Lemon. Phone! Somebody's calling. Now, are we set up for the phones, guys? Is it going to work? You're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
Scottie, it's Topsway. How are you doing, my friend?
Hey, Lala, how are you? Can everybody hear Tops okay? Is he too loud, too quiet, whatever?
Well, I'm quite frequently accused of being too loud, but I don't think that's the same thing we're talking about.
All right, absolutely. Well, we'll not pry.
Well, I mean, I can give you a mic test if you want. Two.
No, I think we're fine. Everybody said the sound's good tonight. I'll ask Susan. She's very good. Oh, no, there's Melinda. Sounds great. So there you go.
Well, the internet's never shy about giving you an opinion on things, is it?
Well, no, there's Numpty Heed, and he says, I've been on a few shows, including yours, as a nuisance. Now, Numpty Heed, you'll be too young for this, but there used to actually be an appointment in local towns, an inspector for nuisances. That was
good. I could apply for that.
Well, did you see No Names, No Pack Drill, the very badly behaved children on the telly this week, smashing up the local shop?
You know, I saw the headline and I couldn't bear to click the link because it would just annoy me.
Quite right. Well, it was on the telly, a 13-year-old girl and a young boy kicking a door. Now, if the police had caught you and I, Tups, in Glasgow, would have got a wallop round the side of the head, and then would have been told, get yourselves away. And that would have been it. Would have thought, oh my God, the police guys.
I work in court these days, and I was talking to a copper in court a couple of weeks ago, and he said that on weekends when the Neds are all fighting each other in its battles, then they get themselves injured and the cops take them into the accident emergency. In the olden days, what you would do is they would just leave them there and then they'd get patched up and discharged. But what he said to me is now the Neds have to be treated as potential victims. So he said the waiting room at the accident emergency by 3 o'clock in the morning is absolutely full of cops because they can't leave until this guy's sobered up. He He said it's absolutely absurd.
Well, we've got
because
over
they're
the top
supposedly
with,
victims now.
well, this victim culture, we're way over the top with it. That needs to stop. Everybody's a victim, because what it does, it breeds weakness in people who go, well, you see, I don't keep very well. And you say, could it maybe be because you're eating a load of rubbish that's non-nutritious? You know, that sort of idea.
Don't get me started on the syndromes,
but what
man.
I thought the only way to actually deal with it, because obviously they're wains and nobody hits wains nowadays. Quite right. I can go along with that one, because I didn't enjoy it as a youngster when somebody gave you a wallop, you know, although you didn't do it again, you know.
I agree. You know, adults hitting kids, it's just not a good. It's not a good thing.
It's not a good look. But what I thought is, home to the mother and say, listen, we're very sorry about this, but your daughter has kicked the shop door and smashed the glass. Now, the glass is £200 to replace, because it's toughened. So I'm afraid we're going to have to take that out your benefit. And the mother's going to go absolutely berserk. How can I possibly afford that? You say, well, you'll need to have a word with your daughter. It's only 200 at the moment, and we'll take it out your benefit. And eventually, I think the children might get the message that because they've been vandals, they've lost out on food for a week or something, or you know, a trip to the pictures or something like that. No pocket money, nothing, no phone.
I mean, in Scottie McClue's utopia, I think that would work, which we're obviously all working towards. But one of the problems is that families quite often require and desire their children to have one of a range of pure syndromes, man. Oh, wee guys, he's got a pure syndrome, man. I'm taking him to the GP with his pure syndrome.
Well, yes, there's always a wee bit of all that getting diagnosed. But having said that, and a lot of it, in fairness, you know, I mean, I'm a great man for balance, as you know. But there's somebody shouting grounded and pocket money stopped. Marie says she used to listen to me in the radio in 1995 and loved it. We like all that.
I can't even know. I remember when my pocket money went up to the princely sum of 50 pence, and this was about 1991, so I'd be 11 or 12, and I was getting 50 pence.
So you're actually just a young man. I mean, my pocket money was a Saturday sixpence.
Like a whole sixpence?
A sixpence, and then it went up to a shilling, but my mother could be a wee bit more generous. You had to hang around wondering if Dad was going to remember, you know, and all that sort of idea.
Could you not buy a Model T Ford for a sixpence?
You could have got it. Well, I'll tell you what you could get, seriously. You could get something like a second-hand car for 15 quid. My first car, there's what a goat, says this chap. The Neds are taking over the UK. Well, I don't know if anybody's watching from Scotland, and I don't know if anybody who's watching is a Still Game fan, but I saw a Still Game for the second time last week, and it was the one they got Big Innes to come down from the Highlands, and they had to watch him. They couldn't give him Maduri to drink, which I assume was some sort of, you know, creme de menthe type thing.
Well, you know, talking about cheap cars, I think I've just made Mrs. Tups's car worth about £5.
Have you been repairing it?
Yeah, it was an underground car park at a hotel, and you know the spaces are very, very tight with big concrete pillars.
Oh, right.
Well, yeah, I'd been driving. It was up in Aberdeen. I'm not proud of it, but I had to work there. It was Aberdeen. Long drive. I'm a little bit tired, a little bit cranky, and I'm trying to maneuver into this space. And next thing you know, scrape right along the side of Mrs. Tups's car. I'm such an idiot.
No. I saw a young lady driver one day, and she reversed and just scraped the car, but then she pulled forward to get out of the dilemma and took the wing mirror off. And then
you know, No, I mean I was almost ready to do that. I mean, the only thing is the car is old; it's due for replacement. It already had a scratch that somebody else did on it, so it's not going to change. Oh, and also I bought the car for Mrs. Tupp, so I think that makes it okay. But oh my God, see that scraping metal noise? You just never want to hear that when you're driving a car.
Yes,
it is awful.
Certainly do not. You do not. And I was thinking today, I can remember an incident about 1973, I think it would be 73 or 74. And I was reversing, I was doing a 3-point turn and I was reversing, and I touched the lens on a Hillman Imp. And of course, there's always somebody around. Oh, don't worry, son, he stays up the stairs there. You could go up and have a word with him, tell him what's happened. I think he'll be all right with it. Anyway, this guy came down and he said, well, we could say, no, it must have been pre that, because I think it was 10 shillings or something for the lens. And then he went, oh, wait a minute, that wasn't there before. And it was a wee bump and it was rusted. So I said to him, I said, oh, has it rusted in the last 2 minutes? And he shut it and said, yeah, we'll just do the 10 shillings. Thank you.
well, I remember about 5 or 6 years ago, we went to, there's a very posh brand of supermarket up in Newton Mearns, which for non-Glaswegians, that's the poshest part of Glasgow. Oh. So we went up there and we parked and I came out. And sure enough, had somebody not really hammered the driver's door with another door right down to the metal. And I thought, oh my goodness. But then I looked and presumably because it's the poshest supermarket in the poshest part of town, the woman who'd done it left her details under the windscreen wiper, and we got it repaired on insurance. There isn't that. That's heartwarming, isn't it?
That's lovely. Well, I heard somebody doing that. They'd written the note and put it behind the wipers. And when the chap came back to his car, there was a wee bump, and he read the note, and the note said, I'm just writing this so everybody thinks I'm leaving my details. Sorry.
I must remember that one.
That was it.
No, I would never do it. But yeah, we're going to have to replace the car anyway, so it's not a big deal. I mean, it was worse just having to be in Aberdeen for a couple of days. Frankly, that place is weird. I've never liked Aberdeen.
I know not like Aberdeen. There won't be any Aberdeen. The time to see Aberdeen Tups is when the sun's shining on the granite. And these buildings, when I worked at Grampian was based at Queen's Cross, which was very, very stylish. And round about it were very substantial granite houses. And these houses were Victorian houses. And they looked as if they'd been put up the day before.
Yeah, I mean, it's built to withstand nuclear blasts. And I think that's about the only thing that would improve.
And Marshall College, I mean, if you see the tower of Marshall College, against the skyline with the sun. Oh, it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. But as somebody once said to me about Aberdeen, they said, do you know that the Aberdonians couldn't really give two about Glasgow and Edinburgh? And I said, is that right? And they went, yes. But do you know that the people of Glasgow and Edinburgh couldn't give two about Aberdeen?
well, there's an old saying. Oh, they call it, it's the Silver City. It's the Silver City. It's not silver, it's grey. It's grey as winter.
Grey granite, Lewis Gressick Gibbon. You know, the wonderful story, Sunset Song.
There's an old friend of mine, he's a novelist. He famously wrote about Aberdeen. He said, if I'll make this family friendly. He said about Aberdeen, if Aberdeen is silver, then poo isn't brown, it's copper tone. So, no, it's grey. It's just like grey.
A big grey city. But no, I mean, a lot of people, when they go to Aberdeen, they don't want to leave because it is very special, and it was a real pull for me to leave. But I was glad because Grampian was in the East Coast. And if you're a West Coaster, the sun sets in the west, you know, and the sea, you know, you feel that the sea is to the west. Although you've got the North Sea off Aberdeen. And I used to go swimming where the Trump golf courses are now. I used to walk the dog. There was nothing. The sand dunes. And I would walk the dog, yes, and it was just me. And I would go into the sea and swim. It was fabulous, very cold. But, oh, you felt $1 million when you came out, you know?
Yeah, well, you know, normally I'd be very wary on the internet about expressing a strong opinion in case someone from the place took me to task. But in Aberdeen, they're still using cocoa tins with string to communicate. None of them are on the internet. It'll be fine. Nobody will find out, Scottie.
Nobody's on the internet. Well, no, but Grampian was a wonderful, wonderful company. And my boss who appointed me, the chief exec, wonderful man, and he just died about a month ago, 102.
Wow. Well, I should let you go because I'm sure there'll be more people coming. Yes. Maybe some Aberdonians.
Do you like the new phones?
Yeah, what seems to work absolutely fine.
I'm quite chuffed. I'm quite chuffed. The old ones were a little bit, you know, bubblegum and stuff. Well, they could be, but this is great. And of course, we're going to get the old number hopefully back, maybe within the next week or so. I was talking to them this week because I hoped it would be through by now, and they went, well, we're just, you know, getting that sorted, if you can bear with us. And I thought, yes, we can, because my audience are incredibly understanding. Because, Tops, I don't know if you remember my first attempts at this kind of program, but I've had to learn it all myself. I'm not saying poor me or anything. I've had to learn it all myself. And the audience have been incredibly understanding with helping me and going, no, it's no good, Scottie. No, you need a stronger processor. And no, the light's poor, Scottie. You'll need to get another light and all this. What about any chance of phones, Scottie? Oh, I don't think so. You know, and it's a bit stuttery, Scottie. Yeah, I think we need more bandwidth. And all this has been going on. I must have been doing this now. Well, it was a friend that phoned me. And he said, why don't you go on Facebook Live? And I said, what is that? I said, do I need a new computer? He went, no, click the little icon. So this was 2016. So I clicked, I went and sorted out my hair, you know, gave my hair a brush because I didn't have any anyway. And I sat down, I had an old jumper on. It was about 11 o'clock on a Saturday night. And I sat down and I clicked the icon, and then it said, do you want to go live? And I thought, well, yes. So I went live and just started talking to my phone. And suddenly all these hearts appeared and hello, big man, and how are you? And I came off and about 6,000 people had joined me.
Well, it certainly worked because it's about 9-10 months or so since I found you, and it was because YouTube. I don't do social media, but YouTube just came up with a link to you, and I thought, my God, it's Scottie McClue. So you know the algorithm spring up. Excuse me, just a moment, Scottie. I need to holler. This is going to test your phone and see if it blows them up. Hang on, Mrs. Top. Mrs. Top, could you make me a drink? Oh, there you go. Sorry,
there we go. You've got everything sorted out there, la.
Well, I made her dinner. I was a little bit late because.
So it's a quid pro quo, really.
Well, exactly. But I think, here she is. Do you want to say hello to Scott? No, she didn't. Scottie, she refused. She just shook her head.
She's very wise. Lovely to hear you. Go and have a fabulous evening and stay fabulous.
All right.
Everybody's shouting 2 sugars, please.
Yeah. Not that kind of thing, Sky.
Tops, I'll leave you with this. I was once I was invited to a party at a big footballers. And I was Scottie McClue here. And I thought, this place is stuffed full of famous footballers. And thought coming up, but I can't believe it, Scottie McClue. And I thought, what's going on here? And There obviously been a little bit of alcohol taken by people, and I wasn't drinking because I was driving back, and I was with a friend, and he said, "Do you want a wee cup of tea?" This was at 2 a.m, right? And I, oh, a cup of tea, that'd be brilliant.
You know, just very quickly, I'll say another thing came up on my YouTube feed, and it's you put up I think it was a video release that you did probably in the late 90s, something like that, and it's
Lord.
you in the middle of a theatre just taking people on.
Oh.
I'm sure you uploaded it, thanks, Darren, some time ago. But it was amazing. I mean, if people look it up, I'm sure it was on your channel that I think you uploaded it a long time ago.
Right. But, yeah, there's 11,000 videos on Scottie McClue's channel.
But it's Scottie McClue Live, and it's obviously a published video that you did probably in the late 90s.
Yes.
And it's you in the middle of a theatre, and it's in the rounds. And basically, so many entertainers, they dread hecklers because they've got certain lines that they'll use for hecklers. But your entire show was based on encouraging people to say, to heckle.
Oh no, I loved it. The hecklers, it was brilliant, Jack, because I've been used to it in the radio. See, we're now in our 34th year.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? There's Mucky saying, Scottie, the voice of my childhood. We're in our 34th year, and the plans for McClue are massive. I'll reveal all as and when, and the plans are absolutely massive because of the technology. But what I did that night, it was an audience with Scottie McClue, and what I did was I came out just before the start, and I sat with the audience, and I was up the back, and I was saying things like, "What is this about? What is happening tonight? I just came in." And people going, Scottie McClue, who's that? And then they're going, is that you? Look, it's you with the hat. He's here. And they're all shouting.
It really is remarkable. If you can be bothered finding it again, then I would advise you to repost it for your new audience.
Oh, bless you.
Because it really is remarkable. You go right up to the railing when somebody says something. It's a good audience. They're in on it, right? I mean, they're not in on it. That's not pre-planned. But you'll go right up to somebody who says something a little bit contentious, and you'll just quiz them like a foot away from their face. That is brave, man. That is brave.
Can I tell you what's really funny? On the radio, obviously, we were very shouty like we are now. Shouty, I'll tell you this, right? So we're giving it all that. And what I'd done there, I'd gone out, and the audience went quiet. And I said, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be starting in about 5 minutes' time, right? And they're all looking at each other and say, who's that? Is it the warm-up guy? And I came back, and one of the guys said, he said, what are you doing talking like that for? They don't know who you are now.
And you've also got your professional presenter persona as well, so you know how to do it properly.
Popping up with the old good evening to you. It's lovely to see you, and thanks, Tops and Dinky-Doo.
All right, take care, man. I'll speak to you soon.
You
Bye-bye.
too, lads. Stay fabulous. There we are. Tops for Hey, guys, on the radio, on the phones. The phones are open. If you want to come on, Scottie McClue, your phone number's well known. It's even made the toilet walls. Did you write it up there? I tell you. Does anyone have the phone number, please? Glenn, I've got the phone number. It's 0333 335 6709. Can everybody get a stub of a hard black pencil and a threepenny jotter beside their telephones? Remember, you used to have that, a threepenny jotter beside your telephones. There's Lainey O'Flower of Scotland. Lainey, we've been having a discussion. Hello, Scottie Fay Langbank. We love Langbank. Hello, you're live on Scotty's Phone In.
Hiya, Scottie, how you doing?
Hey, Glenn, you Dinky-Doo?
Yeah, I'm Dinky-Doo, Scottie, yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. There's Angela with the MS. Good evening, Scottie from Cumbernauld. Nice to see you as always. Good evening, Angela. We want to get you onto the patches. Sorry, Glenn, I'm still reading out. They're going on the ice. Bears Den. You know, it's just we're mobbed.
Scotty, we're getting a change in seasons now, aren't we?
Well, maybe people are not barbecuing in a night like this. They're going, they will say, "Oh, Scottie McClue's on."
It's getting colder and heating and radiators and everything, Scotty.
Do you know what I'm thinking, Glenn? There are huge plans afoot for McClue to come back in some form, technology-wise, on the radio, right?
Definitely.
And there are discussions going on, as you well know. But what I'm thinking is, should we do a bit more of this rather than just 1 hour on Saturday?
Scotty, you know, instead of doing radio for him, buy a football club, Scotty.
What's that, my dear fellow?
Buy yourself a football club.
Buy a football club instead. Shall I come
in Sheffield?
I think I might know which one you mean. No names, no pack drill.
Definitely, yeah.
Yes, get that and get it going.
It's just dragging, Scotty, to be fair. It's not fair.
No, I'll tell you, the only thing is, if I did buy a football club, I would draw the lines. I would say to the fans, now look, here's where the line is. I will be at all the games, standing in front of you all at the box. Yeah. One person boos me, I will sell the club.
Absolutely.
Because, I know, Glenn, as you know, sometimes you get billionaires buying a club, and if the club doesn't perform the way the fans want it, they'll you know, and you think,
Scotty,
well, I put my money in.
Do you think, you know, when the fans are paying good money to watch whatever they watch, whether it's football, whatever sport entertainment they're watching,
they should get a good game? And Sheffield is famous for some pretty good football.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just being neglected, isn't it?
There's somebody asking me to buy Aberdeen. They're all coming on now selling me football clubs.
Scotty, do you think these owners will actually be restricted eventually from what they do?
Oh, it will get sorted. I mean, we'll not go into on here because it's not fair, because I would need people to have a right of reply to come on.
But you know where we're at, don't you?
Oh, I know exactly where you're at, love. Yeah, you see,
I'm not going to watch him while he's happening
I know
anyway.
what you mean, and the thing is, and you were getting quite a lot of cheek from the other side. I saw that
it's still happening there.
They were singing Sheffield's Hours and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know? And that's it. So we need, you see, the best things, whether it's politics, football, religion, whatever, the best quality of stuff is when the opposition is very strong. Could you imagine a very, very strong, that's when you get the best politics, when they're on a knife edge and could be.
You want a rival, don't you?
Oh, you need a rival, and it's good stuff. I thought to myself, could you buy two teams? But I don't think you can do that. I don't think that's allowed.
Mean in one country?
Well, say you could. Well, you take your own place. Say both teams were actually for sale and somebody, but nobody, you couldn't buy them both. I don't think the monopolies or whatever would say no, not happening. But I've always thought that would be amazing.
The governing body won't allow that, Scott.
No, they won't. They won't have it, you know. But I've always thought that would be amazing. You see, we had a problem years ago with a television company that was doing very, 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 very well, and then the powers that be said that the major shareholder needed to back off and sell a few shares.
You know, in terms of the public that were invested in it, they don't see what goes on behind the scenes, do they?
Well, no, and I can understand, because it's not cheap. I mean, season tickets are not cheap, you know. And there's big money floating about, and of course it's all changed, because you could have a full team of players and nobody's got a connection to the area.
Absolutely not.
Do you see what I'm saying? Could you imagine if it was all local boys that were playing? And that's what. Did you
ever meet any footballers in Sheffield, Scotty?
Oh, yes. I mean, I don't want to go introduce or embarrass anything or sound like I'm blowing any trumpets. But yeah, very, very senior. I mean, I get invited to directors' boxes.
Yeah.
But I don't know enough about football. And I've told you, haven't I, the famous story about telling the joke in the cafe. And, you know, and the guy said, do you want to come into the commentary box with us and do some commentating? So I said, Scotty, do it. You'd be amazing. And I said, I don't know anything about football. And they went, well, you'll fit in with the rest of us.
You don't have to, to be fair, Scotty, do you, to be honest? I mean,
and one night I can remember it was a huge thing with ITV, and it was a script, and I read it out for the England team. And somebody said, Scotty, will you not consider commentating? That just came alive tonight when you read that out. And I thought, I don't know about the game.
Yeah. I mean, I'd just like to put a big congratulations out to the England rugby team as well, Scotty, for winning the World Cup.
We've got a bit of a shout going on at the moment in Scotland because the Scots, they say, now it's time for the national anthem, and the Scots sing Flower of Scotland. Now, the true Scottish national anthem is God Save the King.
Yeah.
And it's causing a wee bit of a stooshy, as we say up here, a stramash. When you say
you do play for the
go on,
you play for the Calcutta. Is it the Calcutta Cup?
Calcutta Cup, yes, absolutely, Calcutta Cup, 100%.
How far's that gone back then over a period of time through England and Scotland and Scotty, that trophy?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, the Calcutta Cup. I mean, I used to go to Murrayfield and watch all these live, and you stood in the terracing.
How many years has that Calcutta Cup been going then, Scotty?
Long time. I can't give you the exact start date, but it's a very old thing. Somebody look it up for us. How old is the Calcutta Cup?
I mean, it's a proud moment for both England and Scotland to have that rivalry in there.
Oh yes.
I mean, as a proud Scotsman, you want to hold that trophy, don't you?
Oh, wonderful. And I mean, I've seen some fantastic games. See, we had a wonderful commentator for our rugby up here called Bill McLaren. And as soon as you heard that voice, that wonderful, reassuring voice, good afternoon and welcome to Murrayfield, and you thought, oh, there he goes. And then he could describe, he knew all the players.
I mean, You've got that distinguished way of putting it across yourself, though, Scotty, to be fair. You could have been, obviously, you broadcast over a period of time on TV and radio. You could have easily done that.
There's somebody says, R.I.P. Billy McLaren from Hoyk. And I came off my show one day on the radio, and there was a gentleman sitting really looking the part. I mean, quality shoes, you know, wool trousers, beautiful big.
Ian St. John as well, Scott.
All that. And I said to my producer, I said, is that Bill McLaren there? She said, yes, it is. I go and have a chat with him. I'd love to see you. You see? So
do you think there's too many podcasts and where commentators are trying to just get behind the microphone these days online then, Scotty?
Well, it depends. I mean, the quality, although the problem is there's so much more media, but it's diluting the quality. And if you look at national media, I won't name any channels in that, the quality of speech is plummeting. And we're getting new words, we're getting people they're putting in. And I don't mind this at all. I mean, I'm a Scotsman, but they're putting people in with regional accents intentionally. But the problem is you can't understand them. But I'm learning new words like government. The government.
Yeah.
So G-double-O, G-double-O-F, government.
Absolutely.
You know, and you think, what's a government? Where are you getting this from? You know, we're used to hearing these, you know, I mean, real quality newscasters. You know, the government have said, the Prime Minister has said.
Do you reckon they change it? Do you reckon they might as well change the English dictionary altogether?
Well, why not? And say, look, we're going to put in the way you speak then, if that's what we want. But
Exactly.
they're thinking it's a false concept because John Reith, who started the BBC, who was a Glaswegian, he put in what was called Southern British Standard, so everyone throughout the country could understand the news.
Do you think we have so much of a snobbishness then at times where accents and stuff?
Well, no, it's not snob. I mean, I love you. Must remember me on the radio. I could talk broad Yorkshire. I could talk Scottish. I could talk Liverpool Scouse with the whole lot coming on, and it was wonderful. And I love that. That's a different thing. But if you're getting the news and they want to put some value in it, then get a neutral voice that's not attracting any attention, because you're missing a news story by laughing or saying, what's a government? You know,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So all we need, you know, just read
ridiculous.
It straight, and all this standing up and sitting down and, you know, wearing high heels, and that's just the guys, you know.
Is that, Scotty, is that your part-time job then?
My part-time watching the news and thinking, tut, tuttity, tut. Well, no, if I'm honest about it, I think I could sort that for them in minutes.
They want it to just drag, don't they?
Yeah, I would say I can get that newscaster improving a lot just in minutes, you know. And they're doing it intentionally. Don't kid yourself that, it's just an accident. He's a very good journalist. It's just you can't understand a word he says.
Is it John Middleton who passed recently?
John Stapleton.
John Stapleton,
He
sorry.
was an excellent broadcaster.
Yeah.
And his wife, Lynn Folds Wood. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry when I read, because John's interviewed me. You know, I was on this morning and he said, in the audience, I see we have SCOTTIE McCLUE.
Very distinguished news radio.
Yeah, very good. I mean, but again, he was of that era when it was important you could understand what was being said.
And also James Whale as well, Scott.
James has passed away, sadly. Yes, I filled in for James as well. You know?
Did you look up to him then as a broadcaster?
Oh, I mean, James was about a long time. People forget this. The James Whale radio show was on the telly. That was what was so funny. They just took the radio show and put it on the telly. And James was, in fact, before I started at Red Rose Radio, I think they used to take James. And I'm not sure if he was in Preston at the time or maybe Leeds. And because he was a Yorkshireman, isn't
he?
Yeah. And so, no, James was around a long time.
Legend, weren't I?
Oh, absolutely. The James Whale radio show, you know?
Yeah, we've still got one legend on that, haven't we?
Have you? Have you got? We've got Glenn. You're a legend.
We've got Scotty.
Hey,
my kids are starting nursery on this week, Scotty, all being well.
Amazing. I remember the night she was born, New Year. So
2022.
So is she 3 now?
She's 3. She's 4 in January.
4 in January. 4 on the 31st of December or the 1st of January? No, 1st of January, because it was 2 o'clock in the morning, wasn't it?
It were, yeah.
And you phoned me and said, my wife's just had a daughter.
Yeah.
I loved that. It made the new year for everyone. Welcome.
I've got that photo online somewhere, Scotty, you know, when we went to hospital and stuff. Crown warmers are there.
Wonderful, Glenn. I better dash. You take great care of you. And
nice one, Scotty.
See you
later. Love you,
Love you lots. That's our Glenn. Hello, you're live on Scotty's Phone In. Oh. How are you?
You don't remember me.
Everybody, the whole world remembers you.
No, you no. You don't remember me, buddy boy.
I'll tell you, matey man. Are you talking into your phone properly? Because we need to hear you a little better.
check now.
Here's Alan
sound
saying,
better?
that's better. Alan's saying, how's it going? I would have phoned in, but I'm chocked full of cold. Alan from a dreek, damp, miserable, moist Northumberland. We like that. There we are. Alan's talking about the dugout. Everyone's interviewed Scottie McClue, says Professor Numpty. He says even the Polis. I think you mean even the Poles. Matey boy, Numpty's just said, matey boy. He knows it's you, matey boy.
Well, I'll tell you what. I've been struggling to try and get your phone number.
Well, no, we've got a temporary phone number at the moment, so don't worry. The Glasgow number 0141 628 9795 should be back soon.
Well, I phoned on the old 333 number tonight.
No, that's fine. We've got you. You must have got the number right, or I wouldn't be speaking to you.
Some of these people, Scotty, you know, I love listening down to all the memories that you were talking about and all your
memories. 40. We're in our 34th year of the Scottie McClue phone in.
It's quite fantastic, Scotty. I do absolutely love hearing all the people that
phone in.
Reminisce.
Do you like my sunflowers? Are they not beautiful?
Absolutely.
I call them the flowers of the forest. But the lady that sent me them sent a little card to say if the sunflowers can't get sun, they turn to each other. Is that beautiful?
Oh, yeah.
They get the light from each other. Very Van Gogh, says Roscoe.
If you like the words, I like the song. I'll tell you, I was walking down. I was doing a bit of jogging the other day, and I remember I was listening to you, and I remember one of the stories you were talking to a caller about. I think it was in Scotland FM. And you won't remember this one. It was so funny. You were talking about fish and chips.
Fish and chips.
And you were the guy was so boring. It was such a boring caller. And you told the guy you were away out to get fish and chips. And you started eating your fish and chips while the guy was on. it was on the phone, Scotty, and you're chomping on your fish and chips. One of those things that I recorded the conversation. I don't know if you remember that.
Fantastic. We love it. So there we go. Now, I'm going to have to dash because we are very short of time, but it's so lovely to hear you. Oh, yes. So there we are. He's gone. Right. If you're still coming on, the calls have been coming in all the time when that chap was talking. There we go. Tupperware, says David. Remember the Tupperware? I grew up listening to you with my granddad, says David. David says, I'm 38 years old now. Wow. So when I started, you would just be about 5. My goodness me, you're listening with your grandpa, your Lala. Susan says it's been a great show tonight, Susan. It's been an outstanding show tonight. And remember, you make it coming on and supporting me. Hi, Scotty, says Magnus. Nice talking to you, big man. Love you loads, says the wonderful Glenn. So there you are. Susan says, matey boy. Yes, matey boy. It is. That was matey boy, I tell you. We need a separate dictionary for all this slang, Scotty. What do you think? Well, Alan, yes, I don't think it's slang that the newscasters are using, but it's very distracting if they would just sit at the table and speak properly. Speak properly. That's what we're saying. But I think what they're doing, it's a kind of slightly socialist with a small s concept. That I know it doesn't matter. No, get all the local people in. It will help the audience. And of course, it won't. I can tell them that right now because television audiences are plummeting. Also, people are not trusting certain news organizations these days. They go, I doubt that. It's that sort of stuff. So people are watching the news and going, doubt that. Because quite blatantly, obviously, they're not sticking 100% to the facts. And I know when it changed. There we are. I tell you. Who have we got? Scottie, Dinky-Doo. Have you been watching the golf, Scottie? Again, I don't golf. TV's plummeting because of social media. Yes, it is, Ian. You're 100% correct. And that's why I'm on here. You'll see one of my videos on the TikTok there up the top. Your fan club's completed the first stage. Cheers. So there we are. Dinky-Doo. I tell you, thank you. So there we go. Yes, no, that's what's happening, Alan. Yes, no. We need to get the news just a nice, clear, neutral read so we can hear it rather than go, what did he say? What did she say? Oh, there's a call coming in, guys. There's a call coming in. You're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
Hello, Scottie. Numpty, the lovable laddie.
Numpty, Lala. We could have done with you this week, I'll tell you.
You could have done with me since you started working on the phone.
Yeah, all right. Don't start rubbing it in, Numpty. We get it.
Anyway, I like the ringtone, Scottie. It's better than the last one.
Oh, yes. I mean, the whole setup, it's professional phones. I've had to shell out, if you know what I mean. And, and I remember when you very kindly supported me when we had nothing.
Absolutely. Now, Scottie, are you listening?
Well, listen.
Right, because we don't have much time. But listen, there's a few ex-radio DJs now doing the podcasting,
All right.
I've got a wee bit of advice for them. They want to tidy their house up before they go on camera. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about others.
No, I get it. Hang on.
You need to tidy their house up. I'm not saying where it is, but there's one or two there that could do a good dusting.
Tidy up the hood. You do the high dusting. What about this place? Does this place look
You set a good example, Scottie.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. What about my sunflowers? Do you like them?
They'll be did next week.
There we are. What about that? So there we are. Lovely.
No, not about much sunlight. Not much sunlight in your house.
Well, they've got sunshine all the time when I'm around, as you know.
You get the dark and dim clouds all the time, Scottie.
The dark and dim clouds. Well, look at the flowers. They were all closed the night before last.
Aye. Now listen,
look at them.
And if you're still looking for what, Scottie, they're looking for a road sweeper.
Well, you're wanting to do road sweeping? Do you have
I'm saying if you're still looking for work, I can put in a good word for you.
I put a good word in because I'll tell you the Edinburgh streets are nothing on them, so it wouldn't take me long to get round that.
Aye, it could do with you in Birmingham sweeping the streets.
What you could do, Birmingham, yes, I think they're needing a hand down there. What you could do, because I know your wee tricks, sweeping it under the carpet.
What about it?
Sweeping it under the carpet, stuff like that, and then squirting a well-known aerosol just a wee bit so people think you've been at the polishing.
Oh, aye. The thing is, Scottie, they stopped making that stuff.
Susan says, beautiful sunflowers, and she sent me 2 sunflowers. And they stopped. That was the stuff. Not to eat. I'm going to have. I'm going to have.
But I don't think they'll last, Scottie. No, in your house.
Aye, they'll last. They'll be here next week. You take care of yourself.
The next week's ones will be pinched for someone's garden.
You take care of yourself, lad. Dinky-Doo.
When you go and stop talking nonsense.
Never heard so much nonsense in all my life. There we are. Good night, all, says Susan. Good night, Susan Angel. Lovely to have you with us. All the streets need swept. You don't see the scaffies. Sometimes you have to give the council a wee call and say, could you maybe get a street? Yes, no, we'll direct a street clean. That stuff. The scaffies used to come round regular and pop it in the dustbin. In fact, that was a great wee summer job for a student. Love you lots. Night, night. Oh, wow, that is fantastic. My dears, what a wonderful show. I say to you, stick your tongue out and say ta-ta. Papa. One more chance. Papa.